Hi, I'm Liv.
And I'm Patrick.
And this is EV Explored. And today we are going to be exploring the Audi Q4 e-tron Sportback. So let's get to it. We are out here in beautiful San Diego, California. We're actually in the mountains of Temecula, I guess. Where are we right now?
We're heading back to Oceanside.
Yeah, and we are out here with a Girl's Guide to Cars. I'm representing a Girl's Guide to Cars, and we are testing out the Q4 e-tron Sportback today. We've been driving around in it for a few hours, but we're going to take you along for the ride and share our thoughts and experiences this whole day. We're on some kind of crazy roads right now. Patrick is having a ton of fun whipping around here, but we kicked off the day on some more chill roads where I started driving first. So let's go to that. Hello. This is an unusual position.
Yeah, if you guys don't know us, I usually end up doing a lot of the driving, and that is because Liv has a prosthetic on her right leg and drives with her left leg, and it can be uncomfortable for long periods of driving. So I usually end up doing a lot of the driving, but we wanted to give this car a fair shake with both of us testing it out and
Absolutely.
getting our opinion. And so far, what do you think?
I've only been driving for a short while, so we'll see, but I'm definitely developing some thoughts. So what is the person in front of us doing? They're bouncing around.
They're anxious for the light to turn green, but there's a bus going in front of them, so I don't know what they're going to do with that.
We've been in this traffic for a little bit. I just started driving. We're lucky enough to be at this event because I'm a writer for a Girl's Guide to Cars, and I was able to come attend this. The Q4 is kind of the perfect car because if you don't know, it's basically the VW ID.4, but more luxury. And I really like the ID.4, though I didn't get much time to drive it. I think we honestly only had like a 20-minute test drive, and I drove it in a parking lot.
And we should get a couple hours today with this.
Yeah.
So.
But it's also very scary and very challenging because I drive with my left leg. I have some injuries on my left leg, so trying to be very, very careful. And right now we're on the 76, which is just lights and traffic and kind of a good spot for me personally to practice driving and stopping, because that's one of the more challenging things for me is how responsive EVs are. Both braking and accelerating, as if you saw Patrick move there, you can see it's good acceleration and good braking. Yeah.
Yeah, so far, and I drove it for just a mile or two. We'll do some more switching back and forth, but it is peppy. It is, I'm not sure the 0 to 60 times. We got a lot of presentation info.
It's not fast though. It's, I think it might be like mid 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah, I think it might be even slower, but
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, this is for the EV person that has never cared about 0 to 60 times. Yeah, which is really, I think, a huge chunk of buyers. Let us know, drop a comment down below. Do you really care about 0 to 60 times, or are you more concerned about, like, can I get around this car? Can I get, change lanes quickly when the light turns green? So yeah, just let us know. The lane is merging up here.
Oh, thank you. Well, let's see what the get up and go is to get past this truck. Very nice, just fine.
Not bad at all. Yeah, so that's the type of thing that I think most people are concerned with.
Yeah,
I think
comfortable. As
we've mentioned in our other videos, EVs are all pretty good at doing that type of stuff.
And I kind of like, I think we have a lot of car friends, and we're hanging out with a lot of car people who are very into the performance stuff. But I like this. I like a non-threatening car that's powerful, but like has to get up and go, but you're not like performance. I personally am more comfortable with a non-performance vehicle.
I think a lot of people are. And I think we've been talking about it just amongst ourselves, and this car feels very much like a car. The dash center screen is 11.6 inches. It's not huge, and like it is, and so other EVs, it has still a lot of manual controls. Some of the buttons are like on the screen have haptic feedback,
Which
and on
I like.
the steering wheel. But it feels very much like an EV for people that don't want to scream like I'm in an EV.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of interesting too, because when Patrick was driving us over to where we switched, I was trying to do some stuff on the multimedia, and it's just kind of more difficult to do as a passenger because it really feels like it's oriented towards the driver. Like the driver is the one that's supposed to be doing stuff. Passenger, you're the passenger. Just fiddle with your phone or whatever, you know?
Yeah, it's, let's see, what is that, like maybe a 15-degree angle, maybe 10-degree angle toward the driver?
Yeah.
Which isn't significant, but it does feel like I'm stealing their screen to change the radio station.
Yeah, like get away.
But it is easy enough. Like I can very much, like if I need to program in a navigation point, I could easily do that.
I'm trying to be more gentle with my braking and accelerating. If you have any nerve problems or any foot issues, I'm just going to be honest. EV driving can be challenging. It's far more responsive than a gas vehicle, especially an old gas vehicle like my car. So you might notice that I'm sitting behind a truck now, and I'm kind of fine with that because I'm just like practicing. The Mach-E, for instance, is incredibly responsive, very touchy in a way that I'm sure many people love. But for me, that's very challenging. This is not the case in this vehicle at all.
And as we also talked about, this is, a lot of people compare it to the VW ID.4, which is because it's on the same platform, but this is the Audi-fied version of that. And, we didn't have a ton of time in the ID.4, but so far, my initial impression is this feels like an Audi. The suspension and whatnot so far feels very comfortable. Not as much road noise, if I'm not mistaken, but the materials in here feel great. And we played around with the stereo. The stereo sounds great. It's a Sonos sound system, which is the first I've seen in a car.
Yeah, it sounded really good. I'm not an audiophile, but I thought it was very clear and bright. And the finishes in this vehicle are amazing, like the brushed metal, the dark ash wood, which seems to be like a really hip finish now, but Audi, they've been doing it for a bit, right?
Yeah. And you can feel the texture of the wood.
Premium, yeah.
Feels nice.
Yeah, and like Patrick said, they keep some of the manual buttons, like being able to change the air vents manually. And one of the Audi reps that we were talking with, he, like, maybe if you know Audi, you know the stuff we didn't know, but can you hear that? Do it.
No, you won't be able to hear it.
A very subtle click. It's like an Audi, just little tangible things to show that your vent is closed. And something subtle like that you can do when you're not looking while you're driving, just close the vent. It's just that part of German engineering, just like precision and specificity.
Yeah, and I'm just noticing the turn collision assist indicator. I struggled with that last time. Like my mind keeps blanking on that, but it's in an interesting place. Do you see it? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and what's that?
Well, I'm saying, like, normally a lot of times that's in the mirror. It's like a little, like, don't change lanes now. It's actually on the side of the mirror.
It's actually way more visible. It's funny, though, because I feel like I'd expect the light to be red. And it's always amber. Orange. Is it?
Yeah, like on all cars, it's...
Well, because there's a heads-up thing that's like a crash assistance, like, slow down, the person in front of you is braking, and it's red.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this one that we're in does have the heads-up display. It is the Quattro, so it's all-wheel drive. We'll dive into some of the other features as we get further into the drive, but pretty nice spec car.
Yeah, and I think it feels really comfortable, to be honest. Like, I'm not the person who can jump in a car and just drive. That's not automatically comfortable for me. So the fact that I'm doing this at all speaks volumes. This is a very intuitive, very comfortable car. And that whole giant center console thing, not present here. They've taken advantage of the whole EV situation. There's a ton of room. I'm like sticking my knee all the way over to where the center console would be, like in the regular e-tron that we drove, the e-tron Sportback.
Right.
That center console was right there, and it was really uncomfortable. But I will note that I did want to move the steering wheel higher because the base of the steering wheel is right where my knee is with this crossover. So I'm trying to be very careful of that too. I mean, actually I have room, but like when I cross over.
The other thing is like the ID.4 had an armrest for the driver and for the passenger. This is just, like most cars, it has the one. So it's not as unique to each individual's taste, but those are narrow and skinny. This is broad and comfortable. I've been resting my elbow on it and it's comfortable.
And it's adjustable. So you can go forwards or backwards if you want, which is nice.
So.
Yeah.
Although it knocked over your water bottle.
I know.
But let's see. I think this one's too big.
Oh no, that's great.
No, it works.
You can't see what Patrick is doing.
I know. We'll put some B-roll over that, I believe. But basically, I took this water bottle.
Giant water bottle.
And it goes like in the door, but it's like right in front of like my window control over here. So it'd be very easy to pull it out.
It's out of the way. And that's in every door, the front and the rears. Did I just boop the mic when I said that? That's in every door, front and rear, which is really, really cool. Like, that's really cool. And like Patrick said, where you naturally rest your elbow, where your hand is where the controls are. And that's not necessarily the case for all vehicles. So just like really cool thinking and watching how people use stuff, solving problems that you didn't know you had.
So we're going to drive. Oh, there's a Rivian van.
Oh, that was cool. We got that on camera, probably.
Let's see if we can pop that up.
Yeah.
I thought it would be, the first one I would see would be at Amazon, because Amazon has a big deal with him.
I'm glad you could see that.
Green.
Patrick's so good at seeing things while I'm moving. Oh, it's green.
So we will take a break from talking now, do some fun driving, and we'll see where we get.
Yeah, but so far, having a great time, and one thumb up because I'm keeping my other hand on the steering wheel. I was just noticing that we don't have the roof open. I think it's...
There we go.
Like the ID.4.
We don't want to do that.
We're opening everything. Oh no, sunshine. Stop. Open. Close. Ooh.
It's actually hot here.
Yeah, it's really warm. That was a big blast of warm air. Okay, that's what we wanted, was a little...
96.
Is it 96 here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're driving in Temecula, which is inland San Diego. Are we in Temecula?
We're going to Temecula as our next stop. Right now, we're just having some fun on some little curvy roads. This car, even though it's like Sportback, it is not a performance model, but we're having fun zipping around here with the regen. It's good with the dynamic setting. It's good.
I'm slowly thrown around a little more than some more performance-oriented vehicles, but the seats are extremely comfortable, and I really love the headrest. The headrest is actually curved, so I, as a passenger, can just lean my head back here. And honestly, I notice it as a driver too, because I have a big head and I have a lot of hair, so it was just nice that it was conformed to the hair back there. Oh my gosh, you are really enjoying this vehicle.
Just a little tiny straightaway, and I see we're catching up to other cars.
There we go. He pulled over to give everyone some room. As per usual, pretty roads are pretty popular, so... And I'd say this is pretty.
Yeah, this is pretty. We some not as pretty, but...
Let's close this. So, some vehicles, how do we close it? Do I... Hold, please. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I'm going to let you figure it out.
Oh, it's a press and hold? Wait.
There's a stoplight?
There's a stoplight?
It's green. Yeah. I thought we were out in the middle of nowhere, but we must be getting close to Temecula now.
Yeah, and I'm just going to keep pressing things. For if you know how to do
It's so intuitive. I thought it was literally just...
It's not like the ID.4 where there's a swipe. Nope. Okay, you worry about driving. Hold, please. We'll be back in a moment. Oh, no, we got it. What did you do?
I swiped that, the
You
right
did?
one. There's like two
Oh, the left and the right. Okay, so the left one is the
glass.
glass, and the right one is the cover. So, by the way, some vehicles that are just a glass roof with no cover have really good tinting. This is not super tinted, as you can probably tell. I can see there was a lot of glare on the GoPro, um, which is different to vehicles with good tinting. So it's fine because you can cover it up if you want, and on a gray day you have it open or whatever. So it just depends on what you like. Actually, feel free to let us know down below. Do you prefer a glass roof with good tinting, or do you prefer something like this where you can sort of choose your option? I was gonna say pick your poison, but that's not right. Welcome to Pachanga. We are in Temecula. This is like the first casino, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know how many casinos they have, but that is...
Well, it's the first on the southern region, and then you go up in.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
I was looking at houses here. That was fun. You were really enjoying zipping around. How was that?
Yeah, so we don't have an extensive amount of comparison. We do have a Mach-E, and we have a Mach-E GT. We had a regular Mach-E. It felt similar to our first edition in maybe like engage mode. So sporty, but not like sports car, which, you know, again, this is a SUV-ish crossover. You know, for a daily driver, you can have some fun with it, but it's not meant to be, you know, super duper performance car. But I thought it did great through there. The steering, like my biggest, you know, downside to it had pretty good regen, pretty good acceleration, but the steering just felt, I won't say vague, but it was more of, it wasn't as tight. It didn't feel, it was light steering. So
Not super responsive.
well, it was responsive, but it was sort of just felt like I was turning it quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like perhaps those kind of roads are not what this car is made to excel at. And I think that it might be made to excel at what I like, which was just cruising down the road, feeling comfortable. You're not making windy, tight turns at high speeds or whatever. So for me, it felt really good. And also, Patrick was switching between drive modes. I was in comfort, and I had like the lowest amount of regen. So that feels the most like a gas vehicle with a little bit of like riding the brake or being able to coast.
And I'm going to switch to auto right now. That seems like what most people will keep it in for most of the time. And there's an individual setting, and maybe we're getting ready to stop at a coffee shop shortly. Maybe I'll set up some individual settings to see how it feels.
I'd love that because I think I would not mind a responsive steering wheel.
Oh, yeah.
But I would like the lack of regen, because like when I tried dynamic mode, way too much regen for me personally. So the steering of dynamic, but the regen of comfort, perfect.
Which is really cool. Again, comparing it to our Mach-E, it has 3 drive modes, and there are package deals. There's no way to like individualize the modes for yourself, which is a little bit disappointing. This one does have that, so that's awesome to have that ability.
Well, Audi is amazing at customization. You can literally customize everything on this vehicle, really, including the headlights even. They have this matrix headlight thing. So you have 4 different options. I think it's in the Prestige trim. It's not standard. Standard is just their LED headlights, but if you want Prestige,
1/4 mile, turn left.
We're so close to coffee. So Prestige, you can get those 4 different headlights, and like they're just cool looking, and it's a cool idea that you can change your headlights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just checking. It's not this light. It's the next one.
Next light. How's that heads-up display for you?
It's good. I had the random weird blue dots for a minute, but those have disappeared.
Which we haven't talked about, but I had that too. So we're gonna try to figure out what the little blue dot is.
But this seems very good. So as we get close to the intersection, there's like one arrow that's basically, it's augmented reality. So it's in the intersection, even though there's a car in between me and the intersection. And as I get closer, it'll be on, you know, still on the road and show me where I need to turn. It also has a little bit of a heads up saying like a left turn in 200 feet. and showing me 3 left arrows because there's actually 3 turn lanes, saying take any of those.
Yeah. It's very nice. I enjoy that a lot.
And the center console is using Google Maps. I have it in satellite mode, but it tells me this turn, and then in 3/4 of a mile, I'll have a right turn.
And the information on satellite mode is really nice. Like, there are some vehicles that do satellite mode a little bit too busy. So this is great though. Like, there's still street names even though we're up close on the road. You know what I mean? So Patrick just overtook someone. What was it you said? Not peppy?
It's not peppy for that compared to some other EVs that we've been in. Looking up the specs, it's just under 300 horsepower for the all-wheel drive. And 0 to 60, I think it's going to be in mid 6 seconds or low 6 seconds. So it's not the fastest. Like the lowest Mach-E is like 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds. So it's sort of similar to that.
But not everyone needs performance. Like we said, I think that's... It's a weird...
That was 0 to 60 there.
Oh, was that really?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
Oh, that was fine.
Yeah, it still feels good.
It was also not very dramatic.
It was the same thing that I remember with the ID.4. It felt pretty peppy around town. Overtaking in like a freeway speed is where it feels, I won't say sluggish, it's just not peppy.
And also, I think we drove the rear-wheel drive ID.4, right?
We did both. We did the all-wheel drive in Pasadena.
Oh, right. Then the rear-wheel. Yeah. It's a weird thing. I keep feeling like I have to defend this car and that it's not meant to be performance.
Turn left.
But here's the deal. More horsepower, more performance is not a better car. Like, to some people, that means it's a better car, but I think that means it's a better car for someone, and this might be a better car for someone else. And I was sitting here with the feeling of having to explain that and say why
Now turn left.
you might want to pick something that's less powerful. Like, we were all talking about which vehicle we would pick from the Audi electric lineup, and pretty much everyone said the GT, right? You said the GT.
e-tron GT.
The e-tron GT. And I said the Q4, and I realized the shocked look on people's faces was because to them, obviously you choose performance. But that's not necessarily the case. I really like this cabin. I like the way that this performs. I like that it's not threatening and not super powerful. I don't need that. And I don't know, if you have that at all too, it's okay. It's not that performance is better, it's that it's a better car for someone else.
Well, and you know, the reality is, if you're getting out your checkbook to buy a car, the e-tron and e-tron Sportback without the Q4, $80,000-$90,000 vehicles, and the e-tron GT, of course, is great, but it's also well above $100,000 for most of the configurations.
And this is in the 50s.
This is in the 50s. Actually starts high 40s, I think, right?
We'll check.
So, but yeah, I know like the highest end one of these is about $58,000, which is a fairly good price point. And if you're looking for an everyday driver, I could see like this has a lot of advantages and is competitive with the ID.4, the Ioniq 5, the Mach-E, the Model Y.
And we have to acknowledge the fact that the term everyday driver is a little exclusive in the sense that I think most people have an everyday driver, and it's an extremely luxury thing to have a weekend drive, right? Like,
Right.
That's kind of crazy. We each have a vehicle. Mine's the wreck, and Patrick, our Mach-E, is the nice vehicle. But we each have our everyday driver. So if someone is fortunate enough to have a non-everyday driver, that's a whole different thing. But this vehicle is meant to be an everyday driver. It definitely succeeds at that. I mean, obviously we haven't driven it more than today, but I can already tell it's comfortable. People keep saying it drives like an Audi. I haven't driven Audis really, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But if that means comfortable and luxury.
Part of it is the cockpit feels very Audi. These are like Audi controls. It feels very familiar. This is a very narrow road.
It's very narrow. I know we're the second round of drivers today, so we got to hear a little bit about this drive. I drove on the nice straight part, and Patrick's doing the zippy, more.
And we're not even going
pedal-oriented.
crazy because this is rural residential, sort of. So
Say rural. That's a hard word. Huh?
Yeah, rural residential.
Yeah.
My southern comes out. But this is, nice, relaxing drive. I'm not doing 80 miles an hour on these curves. I'm doing, 30 miles an hour. There's a stop sign coming up. Very comfortable drive. We are, of course, not doing a road trip or anything like that, but I think this would be a good road tripper. The range is decent. It's actually, in the 240s, I believe, or around there for the different configurations.
I think this spec might even be 260.
Yeah, I think it got up there close to like a lot of the configurations of the Mach-E. There's one that got up to 260. That might have been the rear-wheel drive model.
I think this would be a fantastic road trip vehicle. There are a couple things. Oh, can we extend the seat on the bottom? No, we can't extend this.
No, this one does not extend.
Oh, yeah. But there are a couple comfort features.
Can't see.
Oh, this is so pretty. How pretty is this?
Yeah, I can see
Whoa.
why one of the other drivers said they pulled over because there was a big truck coming the other direction. I was like, what?
Oh, this makes sense.
Now it makes sense.
This is so pretty. My goodness. Actually, this is a great time to... Haha. Yeah, listen to me. Please
you
don't
did the
open.
wrong one.
No, stop. Oh, gosh.
It's the right one.
Okay. Okay, we'll just enjoy that for a little bit. I think this would be a great road trip car. That's one feature for sure. So wherever you are, like let's say the canyons, and you want to see some beautiful rock formations through your glass roof, you could do that. You could cover it if it's really bright, like it's about to be here. Someone pull over for a photo op.
I think so.
Nice.
You can tell the cars are getting dusty.
Yeah, they really are. So there are a whole bunch of vehicles out here, and we're getting to hear a lot of other people's opinions and watch them enjoy these cars. So it's really cool. But as I was saying, this little feature, if you've watched this at all, you might know that I like having multiple beverages. I have a coffee in the drink holder right now, and I have a bottle of water in the door. There's a bottle holder in the door. Just a really cool feature, and that for me is like a little road trip thing that makes me really happy that I have the things I need accessible when you're stuck in the car for like multiple hours at different chunks of time. So how's this feeling?
It's fun.
Cool.
And so I just saw somebody catching up, so I was like, how can we have a little bit of fun? And this is so narrow. It's so crazy.
This is really narrow, yeah. Also the curved headrest makes this very comfortable for long road trips. If you are the kind of person who would like to take a nap or whatever while someone else is driving, you'd have a good time in this. Goodness, this is a crazy road and really, really interesting looking. It's really pretty.
So overall, though, what do you think?
I love it. I'm really surprised. We got to get in one, and Patrick drove it for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
About 5 weeks ago, Kyle Connor out of Spec Studios had one, and we hopped in it for a little bit, and I didn't drive it at the time, and I didn't think that I would like it that much. So I was really surprised driving it. I love it.
Yeah,
I really like it.
I thought I would like it because it's ID.4-ish.
Yeah.
But I was also a little bit confused by the pricing because it seems like it's so similar to the ID.4, but now having driven it for a longer bit of time, like I do get, like it feels a bit more luxury materials. And, bottom line is like when you're paying for an increase in your, the price of your car, there's multiple reasons for that. And one of the reasons could be like more power, more performance, more range, more charging, or better quality materials, maybe better sound deadening materials because it is very quiet in here.
Or perhaps you're an Audi person and this is your EV. Like an Audi is your everyday driver, not your performance vehicle, and this could be your new everyday driver, which it definitely feels like. And yeah, I see what you mean. Like it has all the cool Audi stuff as an upgrade, so to speak, on the ID.4, which is totally making me want to drive the ID.4 again, like spend some good time in it.
And the ID.4 to me, it has like some cute features with the play and the pause button for the pedals, and it's just like a quirky design dash.
Just a little. And this does have ambient lighting, but the ID.4 does seem playful in the way that it actualizes it.
And then you switch over to this, and you're like, okay, it feels more luxurious, better quality materials, and we know a lot of people that would choose this over an ID.4 for those reasons. And if that's what you're looking for, I think this would be a winner.
Well, no, only like the big kicker there is the price, right? So it's a bit more expensive than the ID.4. God, the ID.4 is like low 40s, right?
Yeah.
So it's certainly more expensive than the ID.4. But if this is going to be your vehicle, you're comfortable with Audis, or you want this vehicle, you won't be sad. Like who are we to say that the ID.4 is better because it's the same thing but cheaper? Like, this may honestly be better for you if you like the features that the Audi provides. How did that braking feel?
That was not bad. Felt relatively normal. One of the things that we've noticed in town is that it doesn't bring you to a complete stop with the regen mode. It only gets you down to about 3 miles per hour. So that was a little bit of something that surprised me as we got into like town. But I do like, so the steering is, I don't know, a bit of controversy for me. So, and what I mean by that is like this nimble, like moving lanes like that, as driving in a parking lot, I like it. It's like very light, very easy to maneuver, but on these twisty roads, I want it like more substantial.
But I forgot we were gonna try the individual settings.
Oh, that's all right.
Should we pull over? Yeah, let's do it. Let's pull over and
if
try
I can find a good spot,
yeah,
we'll do that.
Because could that be if there wasn't a little tractor
there? I was trying to look to see because there's somebody behind me.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do that, and we will touch base then. Well, that is it. That is our time in the Q4, the Audi Q4 e-tron Sportback. Huge thank you to Girls Guide to Cars for letting me write a sweet article about this. I will link the article down below.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right.
And super awesome of Audi to have us out here in this beautiful weather to test out this vehicle. It's so funny. We just started recording because Patrick was just whipping in these crazy roads, and now it's all calm.
Yeah, now we're in what I guess this is Oceanside.
This is Oceanside. You want to turn around and go crazy again?
Yeah, that's okay.
Speaking of which, that kind of really brings a great opportunity to wrap up our thoughts about this vehicle, because I think that this is where this car excels, these kind of streets. We got traffic lights, we got straight roads, city driving.
Daily driver. Extraordinaire.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend this if that's what you're looking for. And even if you want to go have some fun in the mountains, that works.
It certainly seemed to do well. I drove it on the straight city streets, but how do you think it performed even not as a performance vehicle?
It was impressive. Steering is lighter, as I mentioned a couple of times, but we were really, I wouldn't say pushing it, but having fun with it. And, I would be pleased with this as my occasional, like, let's go, drive through the canyons, but knowing, 95% of the time we'll be driving around like this, staying within the speed limit and behaving and, taking potholes and little bumps and stuff very smoothly, I'd be very happy with this.
And now we're in Fallbrook, to clarify.
Where they have we don't know the area yet.
Yeah, we don't. But I think this is a really great car. I would actually be really happy with this. I was surprised by how much I liked it. But maybe I shouldn't have been, like I said, because I like the ID.4. But I feel like the size of this, it's nimble enough. It feels quick on its feet. It's not a performance vehicle, but it feels petite. It doesn't,
It doesn't feel massive.
It
like
doesn't feel
the
massive. It
e-tron
feels very easy to manipulate.
felt big. This feels
Yes.
right sized.
Yeah. I'm trying to, there, I'll hide from the glare. It feels like a really good size. And on top of that, it has a ton of storage space. It has seating for 5 full adults. So like 3 full adults in the rear. This is not a petite car, but it actually feels nimble and appropriately sized and performance enough, really.
Yeah, as with a lot of EVs, you just have to consider: do you want to pay a little bit more for the luxurious bits? And if that's your thing, then definitely consider this Q4 e-tron Sportback or the regular Q4 e-tron. We did find out that the Q4 e-tron Sportback has technically slightly more space, cargo space, than the regular Q4 e-tron. Not really sure how they pull that off because the way the slope is on the Sportback, but apparently technically it does. Test what you need to store and look at it yourselves. I would definitely compare the two side by side. If you're looking at them, just on an appearance, then buy which one you like the best.
Appearance-wise, I definitely like the Sportback on the outside. I think you do have just a teensy bit diminished view in the rear window.
I can see the bar.
But it's not bad. It's definitely obstructed, but it's not bad. Yeah. I mean, I think this is a really nice vehicle. You will have to let us know what you think down below. Yeah.
As you'll say again. Thank you guys for watching. We plan on doing lots more of these reviews on EV Explored. Thank you for our brand new subscribers. We're trying to build this channel up, so if you could subscribe, hit the bell notification. We want to get this channel to be successful so that we can bring you content like this. So if you did like this content, also give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it,
you can give it a thumbs down. It's okay.
Give it a thumbs down, but still subscribe.
Yeah, no, but really, let us know what you want to see. We want to keep expanding. We love all EVs. We have a great time with this. Check out my article down below. And we don't have a tagline for this channel, so you could put your suggestions there too. So you know what? Just have a great day, okay?
Bye.
Bye.